going for another swim, said the duckling. Not me. Not me, said the chick.
For us, it was a decision between homeschooling and Veritas. When I started weighing the pros and cons of those two things, I realized I could offer Grady pretty much everything that Veritas had at home, for the most part. I could offer him a Christian education. I could offer him a classical education. I could even offer him the social interaction with other Christian kids, but I couldn't offer him Mrs. Beard, and I couldn't offer him some of the wonderful, wonderful people that are at this school. And it almost broke my heart. I just couldn't stand putting him at that disadvantage of not having her for kindergarten.
Mrs. Beard was the one that was responsible for helping us to discern that our child needed vision therapy. She was the one that noticed something about him and that his intelligence and his reading ability weren't in sync. And so we are very, very thankful for her personal attention.
She's such a caring person that I really feel like she nurtures the children and just loves them. Kindergartners get lots of love and attention from Mrs. Beard.
In addition to kindergarten, I'm so excited that we can offer our program of K-Quest to those youngsters who are ready for a curriculum that's a little bit more advanced than a preschool curriculum, but yet they're not quite ready for kindergarten. And so we're excited that our parents have the option of choosing a K-Quest program for their students.
It's been a great experience. I can't actually say anything negative about it.
Growing great leaders doesn't just begin in our junior high and high school. This begins clear back in our elementary school. You can see this by the amount of time that our elementary students are able to spend with our secondary students. That is a piece of growing great leaders, having mentors. Another element that really helps our students become great leaders is the fact that we have small class sizes.
Well, it's so much easier to have a smaller class when I'm teaching and doing instruction because I can really see where they're struggling. I can just see the look on their face that they're lost, they're confused, they have questions that maybe they wouldn't ask, but because the class is small enough, I can make eye contact with each of them and I can know.
They don't just teach the classes, they also really try to take time with the kids and make sure that things are going well with them. Make it as positive an experience as they can for the kids and really personalize it because they're small class sizes.
And it also helps me to work more directly with each individual student and their learning styles. I can see who's an auditory learner and where I need to sit to them, or the students who need to wiggle more and where they need to be and what I can do to help them out.
This process of growing great leaders continues in our third grade, where they begin to have this unique opportunity to go and compete in competitions for math, speech, music, and art. This is an integral part of how we begin to really build strong leaders.
Very few in the community understand the aim of Veritas Christian School's education, and even fewer probably understand its worth. I feel like it can be summed up succinctly in two pursuits that we have here at Veritas. The first pursuit is knowing God, and the second pursuit is to know thyself.
The academics of Veritas, they function with the grain of the student as they grow, from grammar to logic to rhetoric, but tuning their hearts to beat with God's heart is as important, if not more important.
Our sixth grade is a year that prepares students to move on into the junior high experience. We have a great teacher who really helps the sixth graders with their organizational skills, helps them to learn how to be more independent.
The transition into middle school has been one where our child has had a real opportunity to start to understand that his development as a student is directly tied to his preparation.
Participation in band, choir, science fair projects, junior high athletic teams. They help in our elementary club program, run our field day. These are all ways in which they are prepared to step up as leaders.
And really the goal in the middle school is to get them ready for high school from the perspective of primarily the study skills, because that's what makes the difference.
Our elementary program does an exceptional job of training students and preparing them to move on to junior high and high school and then to be leaders beyond that.
For me personally, nearly 10 years ago, I came in as a dropout sophomore in high school. I also came in with legal trouble, and I had just gotten out of juvenile detention center. From that, I had nowhere to go. It was very difficult working with the public schools, and that's not to say anything ill about them. It was just very difficult to get the attention that I needed in order to graduate. So we reached out to Veritas just to see, not knowing what sort of education they had, not knowing too much about the depth of Christianity and the value that this school would have, but mainly just to get help. When we reached out to Veritas, they embraced me with open arms. And they brought me in, and teachers worked endless hours with me and tirelessly with me to get me caught up on foundations.
At our junior high and high school levels, our students are able to go and do a lot of different activities in addition to our strong academic programs. And I think that this is a very important aspect. When you talk about students becoming great leaders, they need to have all these different opportunities. So our students are able to go out and they compete in athletics, academic meets, drama department, art, music, band, choir, journalism. They produce their own newspaper as well as our own yearbook. So our students really are able to get a strong, well-rounded education.
In terms of the students moving on from the different stages, whether it's from Veritas out into the world or even just from junior high to senior high, I feel like one aspect of Veritas that is very great for the kids is the sense of work ethic we instill.
Our juniors and seniors get an incredible opportunity through our leadership program to grow and mature in leadership roles. The leadership program is designed with several things in mind. We encourage students to use this as an opportunity to learn how to serve others and just to contribute either to the community here in Lawrence or to help out a teacher here at Veritas. It's an opportunity for students to pursue a career that they might be interested in. We have several students that have used this as a jumping point to a career.
The leadership program is great at Veritas because I got to choose where I wanted to go, and I got to choose dentistry because that's where I want my career to be, so I got to choose a dentist office that was really close to school.
I have been very impressed with Terry and how professional she is. I can tell her things, she picks it up, her listening skills are good, and she retains information. She's been our first high schooler, and she's actually done the best out of even our college students.
So I'm able to come here for a full hour twice a week. It's just been a great opportunity.
It's been a real help to our students in terms of figuring out a major for college and moving on and developing leadership in these roles here on campus and as they graduate.
I came into Veritas Christian School not a believer. And as I started to live the Christian life here, God started to work in my heart, and I started to become transformed.
The most important aspect of growing great leaders is the spiritual mentorship that our teachers provide with our students.
God used teachers and their discipline, their instruction, and their mentorship in my life.
One of the most important pieces that we can train them in is walking with God every day. I cannot tell you the joy that I have when every morning I get to start my day by hearing students praising God, singing, and praying. That, to me, is what's going to help set our students apart as great leaders in our community as well as in our country.
It had huge impacts on what I wanted to do with my life. So when I left Veritas, I went to KU. I actually graduated summa cum laude.
Veritas graduates have been very successful in their college experience.
As I've asked them how college is, they've said that college is even easy compared to Veritas. And I just know that what they meant was Veritas really prepared them well for college and that they're able to be successful in their field of study because of what they learned at Veritas.
As I returned to Veritas, I had an opportunity to fulfill a role of teaching and be a part of that area. My life continues to be transformed. These students have played a massive role in my life. And now as I move on, I've had the privilege of being accepted into Notre Dame, a top 5 program, and what I'm going into for a PhD. And as I move along, Veritas will always have an extremely special place in my heart.
We all have to have faith in something. What do you want your children to have faith in when they step out into the world? We have faith that the Veritas education gives our kids the best chance to succeed.